Have you ever felt a deep ache in your heart when you think about your children, now grown, who seem so far away, not just in miles, but in connection? Maybe you scroll through old photos, remembering their laughter, their small hands in yours, and wonder, what happened? Why don't they call? Why do I feel like I've lost them? Perhaps you lie awake at night, replaying conversations, questioning if you could have done something differently. The pain of distant children in later life can feel like a silent wound, one that others don't see but you carry every day. If these words resonate with you, this video is for you. For you, who loves your children fiercely but feels the sting of their absence. Stay with me, because today we'll explore why this pain cuts so deep and how to heal your heart, even when the distance remains, with insights from Dr. Tracey Marks, a psychiatrist who's helped millions navigate emotional pain with clarity and hope. The wisdom I'll share comes from a trusted voice in mental health, someone who understands the complex ways our hearts and minds process loss. She's a board-certified psychiatrist with over 2 decades of experience, known for breaking down the science of emotions in a way that feels like a conversation with a friend. Through her YouTube channel, books, and media appearances on CNN and ABC's 2020, she's empowered people to face challenges like grief, anxiety, and disconnection with practical tools. Today, I'll bring her teachings to you, dear parent, grandparent, someone who's poured your heart into raising children, only to find them distant now. I want you to know you're not alone, that this pain is valid, and that there's a path to healing, even if it feels impossible right now. If you're watching this, you might know the heaviness of waiting for a text that never comes, or the bittersweet pang of hearing about your child's life through others. Maybe you've tried reaching out, only to face silence, or felt the sting of arguments that left scars. Maybe you blame yourself, wondering if you were too strict, too lenient, or not enough. This pain is real, and it's especially common in later life, when roles shift and children build their own worlds. You might feel like your heart is broken, like you're grieving someone who's still here. The author teaches that this kind of loss triggers the same pathways in the brain as physical pain, which is why it hurts so much. But she also says that understanding this pain is the first step to healing it. Let's dive into 10 powerful questions, inspired by her work, to help you process this heartbreak, rebuild your resilience, and find peace no matter where your relationship stands. These questions are like a gentle hand guiding you through the fog. They're not here to judge you or promise a quick fix, but to help you understand your pain and take small, meaningful steps toward healing. Let's walk this path together with compassion and hope, knowing you deserve a heart that feels whole again. Authority and empathy. Before we begin, let me assure you that these insights come from someone who spent her career helping people like you. Dr. Tracey Marks is a psychiatrist, educator, and speaker passionate about making mental health accessible. With over 2 million YouTube subscribers and books like Why Am I So Anxious? She blends neuroscience with practical advice, helping people manage stress, grief, and emotional challenges. Her approach is warm, relatable, and grounded in science, like she's sitting across from you, listening to your story. Today, I'll channel her wisdom to support you, to validate your pain, and to offer tools to heal. So, grab a notebook, a cup of tea, and let's start this journey. Connection and validation. If you feel heartbroken over a distant child, you're not alone. Millions of parents in their 50s, 60s, and beyond face this pain, often in silence. You might see your friends posting about family gatherings, while you're left wondering why your child seems to have drifted away. Maybe it's a gradual distance, no more weekly calls, or a sudden rift after a disagreement. Maybe they're busy with their own lives, or maybe there's unresolved hurt. The psychiatrist explains that estrangement often stems from complex factors like differing values, past conflicts, or your child's own struggles, but it feels personal because your love is so deep. This pain can feel like grief, and it's okay to mourn the closeness you once had. But this moment is also an opportunity to heal your heart and rediscover your strength. Let's explore the questions that will guide you there. Question 1. Do I allow myself to grieve, or do I hide my pain to stay strong? The author teaches that the pain of a distant child is a form of grief, activating the same brain pathways as losing someone to death. Trying to stay strong by burying this pain can deepen it, because unprocessed emotions fester. Allowing yourself to grieve without shame is the first step to healing your heart. Consider Susan, 62, who felt her heart break when her son stopped calling after a heated argument. She hid her tears, thinking she had to move on. But the pain grew, affecting her sleep and joy. Inspired by advice on emotional regulation, Susan decided to change. She set aside 10 minutes daily to journal her feelings, writing, "I miss my son. It hurts." She also spoke to a trusted friend who listened without judgment. Over time, naming her grief lifted its weight. Susan joined a book club, finding new connections, and while the pain lingered, she felt lighter, knowing her heart was healing. Grieving is like letting the rain fall. It clears the air for sunlight. The psychiatrist says emotions need space to move through you. So ask yourself, do you allow yourself to grieve or hide your pain to stay strong? Try this exercise. For 1 week, reserve 5 minutes daily to name your feelings. Write, "I feel emotion because reason." If tears come, let them. Then ask, what do I need now? Maybe it's a walk, a call, or quiet. Do it and note how you feel. Reflect. How did grieving change my heart? This practice helps you process pain, making room for healing. The author says, you can't heal what you don't feel. Start today and feel the relief of honoring your heart. Question 2. Do I blame myself for the distance, or can I see the bigger picture? The pain of estrangement often comes with guilt, as you replay moments thinking, if only I'd done better. The psychiatrist explains that guilt distorts reality because relationships are shaped by many factors, not just your actions. Seeing the broader context, your child's choices, life stressors, or past dynamics helps you release self-blame and heal. Think of Robert, 65, who felt crushed when his daughter moved away and rarely called. He blamed himself, believing he was too strict when she was young. Inspired by insights on resilience, Robert reflected on the bigger picture. He realized his daughter was navigating a demanding career and personal challenges. He wrote a letter, not to send, but to process, acknowledging his love and her independence. Robert also volunteered at a community center, finding purpose, and the guilt began to ease, letting him hope for reconnection one day. Seeing the bigger picture is like stepping back from a painting. You notice details you missed. The author teaches that relationships are co-created and you're not the sole cause of distance. Ask, do you blame yourself, or can you see the bigger picture? Try this. Write a list of factors that might contribute to the distance, like your child's life stage, external pressures, or past events. For each, note what was in your control and what wasn't. Read it aloud, saying, I did my best with what I knew. Then, do something kind for yourself, like gardening or cooking. Reflect after a week. How did this shift my guilt? This exercise frees you from unfair blame, opening space for peace. The psychiatrist says, guilt keeps you stuck, perspective sets you free. Begin now and feel lighter. Question 3. Do I reach out with love or hold back out of fear? Estrangement can make you hesitant to reach out, fearing rejection or conflict. The author explains that fear shuts down connection, while small, loving gestures without expecting a response can keep your heart open and support healing, even if the relationship doesn't change. Imagine Linda, 60, whose son hadn't spoken to her in years after a falling out. She avoided contact, scared of silence. Inspired by advice on emotional courage, Linda sent a short text. "Thinking of you, I love you." She didn't expect a reply, but felt empowered by her action. To her surprise, her son responded weeks later, opening a cautious dialogue. Linda also joined a support group, sharing her story, which helped her feel less alone. Her heart began to mend, regardless of the outcome. Reaching out is like planting a seed. You don't control if it grows, but you nurture hope. The psychiatrist says small actions build resilience. Ask, do you reach out with love or hold back out of fear? Try this. Write a brief message to your child like, "I'm here and love you." Decide if you'll send it or keep it private. Then, do one loving act for yourself, like a warm bath or reading. For 2 weeks, note how these actions feel. Reflect. How did acting with love change my heart? This practice keeps your heart open, fostering healing. The author says, love, even unreturned, strengthens you. Start today and feel the courage. Grow. Question 4. Do I care for my body and mind or neglect myself in my pain? Heartbreak can lead you to neglect your health, as grief drains energy. The psychiatrist explains that physical and emotional pain share brain pathways, so self-care, like sleep, nutrition, and movement, supports healing by calming stress responses. Neglecting yourself deepens the wound, but care rebuilds your strength. Consider Margaret, 67, who stopped eating well after her daughter's silence left her heartbroken. She felt exhausted, amplifying her pain. Inspired by advice on self-care, Margaret started small, cooking simple, nourishing meals and walking daily. She also practiced deep breathing, as taught by Dr. Marks, to ease her anxiety. These habits boosted her energy, and she joined a yoga class, finding community. Her heart still ached, but self-care gave her resilience to face it. Self-care is like tending a garden. It helps you bloom again. The author says small habits rewire your brain for healing. Ask, do you care for your body and mind or neglect yourself? Try this. For 1 week, pick one self-care act daily. Eat a healthy meal, walk 10 minutes, or sleep earlier. Use Dr. Marks. Breathing technique. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Note how you feel after each. Reflect. How did self-care lift my heart? Neglect deepens pain, but care restores you. The psychiatrist says, your body is your ally in healing. Start now and feel the strength return. Question 5. Do I hold on to hope for reconnection or assume it's lost forever? Estrangement can make you feel hopeless, believing the distance is permanent. The author teaches that hope isn't about expecting a specific outcome, but trusting in possibility. Holding gentle hope protects your heart from despair and supports healing, even if the relationship evolves differently. Think of James, 64, who lost contact with his son after a key divorce. He assumed it was over, sinking into sadness. Inspired by resilient strategies, James reframed hope. He wrote a list of small ways they might reconnect, like a future call or shared memory. He also pursued a hobby, photography, finding joy in new moments. Months later, his son sent a photo, sparking a small bridge. James's hope kept his heart open, aiding his healing. Hope is like a light in the dark. It doesn't promise dawn, but guides you. The psychiatrist says, hope builds emotional resilience. Ask, do you hold on to hope or assume it's lost? Try this. Write 3 possible ways your relationship could improve, even slightly. Each day for 2 weeks, do one hopeful act, like praying for your child or enjoying a hobby. Note how you feel. Reflect. How did hope change my outlook? Hope heals by keeping your heart flexible. The author says, hope is courage in disguise. Begin today and let possibility lift you. Question 6. Do I set healthy boundaries or let pain control my actions? Estrangement can push you to overreach or withdraw, driven by pain. The psychiatrist explains that boundaries protect your emotional health, helping you respond with clarity rather than react impulsively. Setting them fosters healing by honoring your needs and your child's autonomy. Imagine Carol, 61, who called her distant daughter daily, desperate for contact, but felt worse with each unanswered call. Inspired by boundary-setting advice, Carol set a limit, one call weekly, leaving a kind voicemail. She redirected energy to painting, a passion she'd neglected. This balance eased her pain, and her daughter eventually responded, respecting her calmer approach. Carol's boundaries helped her heart heal. Boundaries are like fences. They protect without closing off. The author says they're key to emotional regulation. Ask, do you set boundaries or let pain control you? Try this. Identify one unhealthy habit, like excessive calling. Set a boundary, like contacting once weekly. For 2 weeks, redirect energy to a joyful activity. Note how you feel. Reflect. How did boundaries help my heart? Boundaries empower. Healing by respecting your worth. The psychiatrist says, boundaries are love for yourself and others. Start now and feel the calm. Question 7. Do I find purpose beyond my role as a parent or feel empty without it? When children grow distant, you may feel your purpose as a parent is lost, leaving a void. The author teaches that purpose evolves, and finding new meaning through hobbies, volunteering, or relationships rebuilds your identity and heals your heart. Consider David, 68, who felt empty when his sons moved abroad and rarely called. He defined himself as dad, and their distance crushed him. Inspired by purpose-driven advice, David volunteered at a local library, reading to kids. This gave him joy and connection. He also took up gardening, finding peace in growth. His heart still missed his sons, but purpose gave him resilience. Purpose is like a new chapter. It doesn't erase the past, but adds meaning. The psychiatrist says purpose rewires your brain for joy. Ask, do you find purpose beyond parenting or feel empty? Try this. List 5 activities that spark joy, like volunteering or learning. Pick one and try it for 2 weeks. Note how you feel. Reflect. How did purpose lift my heart? Purpose heals by giving you a reason to thrive. The author says, you're more than one role, you're a universe. Begin today and rediscover your spark. Question 8. Do I connect with others or isolate myself in my pain? Heartbreak can make you withdraw, feeling no one understands. The psychiatrist explains that isolation amplifies pain, while connection, even small, reduces it by reminding you of your worth. Building a support network supports healing, even if it's outside family. Think of Ellen, 63, who isolated herself after her daughter stopped visiting. Loneliness deepened her pain. Inspired by community-building advice, Ellen joined a walking group, hesitant at first. Sharing stories with others, she felt seen. She also reconnected with an old friend, finding comfort. These bonds didn't erase her pain, but made it bearable, helping her heart heal. Connection is like oxygen. It keeps your heart alive. The author says social bonds boost resilience. Ask, do you connect or isolate? Try this. Reach out to one person this week, a friend, neighbor, or group. Plan a small interaction like coffee or a call. For 2 weeks, note how connections feel. Reflect. How did they help my heart? Isolation traps pain. Connection frees it. The psychiatrist says You heal in community. Start now and feel the warmth of others. Question 9. Do I manage my anxiety or let it fuel my heartbreak? Estrangement often triggers anxiety as you worry about your child or the future. The author explains that anxiety hijacks your brain's stress response, intensifying pain, but managing it with tools like breathing or journaling calms your mind and supports healing. Imagine Patricia, 66, whose anxiety spiked when her son ignored her calls. She obsessed over worst-case scenarios, worsening her heartbreak. Inspired by Dr. Marks' techniques, Patricia practiced breathing. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 6. She also journaled her fears, asking, "What's in my control?" These tools eased her anxiety, and she joined a meditation class, finding calm. Her heart began to heal, even with distance. Managing anxiety is like taming a storm. It clears your heart's sky. The psychiatrist says small practices rewire your brain. Ask, do you manage anxiety or let it fuel heartbreak? Try this. For 1 week, practice breathing when anxious. Journal one worry daily, noting what you can control. Note how you feel. Reflect, how did this calm my heart? Anxiety amplifies pain. Management soothes it. The author says, your mind is your ally when you guide it. Start today and feel the peace. Question 10. Do I believe my heart can heal or think it's broken forever? The deepest truth for healing is believing it's possible. The psychiatrist teaches that your heart is resilient, capable of mending through small, consistent steps, even if scars remain. Faith in your strength transforms pain into growth. Think of Thomas, 70, who felt his heart was shattered when his daughter cut contact. He believed he'd never heal. Inspired by Resilience Insights, Thomas wrote a vision. In 6 months, I want to feel peace. He took steps, journaling, walking, connecting with friends. A year later, his daughter didn't return, but Thomas felt whole, finding joy in mentoring youth. His heart healed, stronger than before. Believing in healing is like trusting a seed. Will grow. The author says, resilience is your brain's gift. Ask, do you believe your heart can heal or think it's broken forever? Try this. Write, in 6 months, I want to feel emotion. List 3 steps to get there, like self-care or connection. Do them for a month, noting progress. Reflect, how did belief change my heart? Your heart is stronger than you know. The psychiatrist says, healing is your birthright. Begin now and embrace your journey. You've made it this far, and that's proof of your strength. These 10 questions, inspired by Dr. Tracey Marks, are your guide to healing the pain of distant children. Your heart may carry scars, but it's also growing new roots of resilience, purpose, and peace. You are more than this pain. You are a story of love and courage. If this video touched you, share it with someone who needs it, a friend, a parent, anyone carrying this heartbreak. Leave a comment. Which question spoke to you most? Your story could lift another heart. As the author says, we heal together, one step at a time. Until next time, care for your heart. You're worth it.